Out on the high seas, there's this really fragile line between global trade and, well, human tragedy. Today, we're going to take a look at what happens when that line gets crossed. We're going to analyze the maritime obligations that are supposed to keep sailors safe in one of the most critical waterways in the entire world.
This right here, it's a powerful and totally unequivocal statement from Arsenio Dominguez. He's the head of the International Maritime Organization. It's a core principle of international law, but as we're about to see, it's a principle that has been tragically and repeatedly violated.
So, what prompted such a strong declaration? Well, it was a specific, deadly event that really brought this whole crisis to a boiling point. On that day, a civilian ship, just out there doing its job, was violently attacked. And it's so important to get this straight. This was not some kind of military fight. This was an attack on a merchant ship in a vital international waterway. The attack led to at least 4 reported fatalities. I mean, that's 4 lives just gone. 4 seafarers who got on a ship for work and never made it back home to their families. And on top of those tragic deaths, another 3 crew members were severely injured. This one incident is just a brutal reminder of the incredible dangers facing the very people who keep our global supply chains moving. But here's the thing, this tragedy isn't just an isolated event. It's really a flashpoint in a much larger, ongoing crisis that's affecting thousands and thousands of people. Just think about that number for a second. 20,000. Right now, as we speak, about 20,000 seafarers are basically trapped on their ships in the Persian Gulf, caught right in the crossfire of these regional conflicts. And for them, reality is it's constant fear. These aren't just numbers on a page, they're real people living under this immense psychological weight of knowing they could be next, all while they're just trying to do their jobs. So all of this brings us to a really fundamental question. Because the open sea, it isn't supposed to be some lawless frontier, right? There are actual rules and frameworks specifically designed to prevent these exact kinds of situations. And it's a question that's absolutely worth asking. What are the legal guardrails that are meant to ensure everyone's safety and passage? Well, the answer lies in established international law. And look, this is not just a set of polite suggestions, it's a governing framework, and it explicitly lays out 2 core principles, the freedom of navigation and the absolute protection of the people on board these ships. And this framework, it puts clear obligations on everyone. All the parties involved are legally bound to protect seafarers, to guarantee their safe passage, and, maybe most importantly, to actually uphold the law itself. So, facing this complete breakdown of law and order, the highest authority in the international maritime community had to issue a really powerful response. So yeah, the International Maritime Organization, or IMO, you can think of them as the global standard-setting authority for the safety and security of all international shipping. And their assessment of what's happening right now, well, it's pretty damning. These 2 words from the Secretary General really say it all. Unacceptable because it violates fundamental laws and basic human rights, and unsustainable because, let's be honest, the global system just cannot function when its main arteries of trade are under constant threat. And this, right here, just lays bare the massive gap between what's supposed to be happening and what's actually happening. On one side, you've got the current situation. Seafarers are being treated like targets, navigation is incredibly dangerous, and international law is just being ignored. And on the other side, you have what should be happening. Seafarers are protected, navigation is free and safe, and the law is respected. So, what's the price of all this lawlessness? I mean, when these fundamental rules get ignored, the consequences are severe, and they reach much further than you might think. See, this isn't just some regional problem happening far away. The safety of these maritime routes is directly linked to the global economy, to the supply chains that all of us depend on every single day. Protecting seafarers isn't just a moral duty, it's a global necessity. And that leaves us with this final and pretty sobering question. The sources make it crystal clear that while nations and other groups debate, it's the civilian seafarers, the individuals just trying to earn a living, who are paying for these violations with their well-being and sometimes with their very lives.